Fergus, you must be happy to sign with the Waratahs after supporting the team your whole life.
Yeah, no, it's been a few years since I've been back in Sydney, but really good to be back playing here. Obviously, grew up supporting the Tars, that was my childhood team, and yeah, it's quite surreal being back and watching them over all those years and like having them up in my room and everything. It's pretty cool to be coming into work every day in this pretty amazing facility and getting to train and hopefully play for them.
And you alluded to it before, but you, a little birdie told me you had a lot of Waratahs posters on your wall.
Yeah, still do actually at home. I've got all the, I think it's like 2003, 4, 5, all the team posters up on the wall in my room. They're still there. So I remember when I was younger, we came to we obviously went to a lot of Tars games through school and everything, but when I was little, I remember I made mum and dad stay behind. I got every player's signature. And it's funny, like when kids come and do the fan days, like you talk to them and they're like, I want to get every player's signature. So it's like obviously still going, so it's cool.
It's a pretty unique time to come back as well. So it's the 150-year anniversary rugby in New South Wales and the 10-year reunion of our championship side for 2014. That must be pretty
it is really cool. I've actually it's been playing a bit upstairs, the 2014 final, and obviously we've been doing the eras through in the team meetings, going through each era for the 150 years. But yeah, just watching that 2014 final, like, just gives you goosebumps. All the boys even talk about getting goosebumps. Like, imagine reliving it this year; it'd be pretty amazing.
Can you give the audience a breakdown of your sort of journey in rugby? So you grew up in Scone, ended up playing Shoot Shield for East.
Yeah, so born in Scone, went to school there till primary school. Then I went away to Kings in Sydney, and then from there I had a gap year working on a cattle station, and then went to Easts. And actually Darren and Paulie were my coaches. Paulie was my Colts coach, and then DC was my first grade coach. And then I went over to Perth, played at the Force for 5 seasons. And then at the start of, midway through 2022, I went over to play in the Premiership at Worcester and Bath. And then now I'm back here.
Awesome. And what do you think you've learned from your time abroad that you can bring back here?
Definitely, I think around set piece, it's a big part of the game over there. Mauling, scrumming. For me personally, my line out, I feel like I improved around just calling and defending, seeing different pitches. And then I'd say just playing with some world-class players, like playing with Finn Russell, Ollie Lawrence, players like that who are like at the top of their game. It just gives you confidence, and I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence playing in that league, and then hopefully I can come back and put it into practice here.
And you've obviously got an affinity with the Waratahs, having grown up supporting them. But from a football perspective, what are some of the reasons why you signed? Did you have confidence in DC as a coach?
Yeah, I think definitely the roster. Like looking at the boys when I was over at Bath, looking at the squad here, like we've got a seriously good squad in both like the tight 5 and the backs. So that was probably one of the things that pulled me back here, just the quality in the boys. And then obviously DC and Paulie, like they coached me at East. It's amazing that we've come back together full circle, and yeah, just have complete trust in them, and I'm really liking with the direction that the club's going.
And you look like you've settled in pretty well. It's commonplace seeing you smiling around, laughing.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Like it's very different to the UK. The boys here like to take the piss out of themselves, so it's every day coming in here to train is like hilarious. Like it's just good. It's real good fun. All of us have become really good mates, and like as soon as I rocked up, it was like there was a few familiar faces, but then a lot that weren't, and we're all just like good buds now. So it's every day coming into work's unreal.
And your family and friends must be excited to get to Allianz and cheer you on.
Yeah, definitely. My parents, when I played at the Force, they would drive like 8 to 10 hours. They once drove from home up to Brisbane and stuff. So now being at Sydney, it's a bit closer for them. So hopefully they can come down to Allianz and watch us get a few wins.
Good,
thanks.
What actually led you to go overseas to Worcester?
Probably just a change. Like I'd been playing Super Rugby for 5 years, and I'd got a bit of not too much love with the Wallabies, so I just thought it was a time for me to get a change and go experience a different style of rugby. yeah, that was pretty much my reason. Yeah.
What was the feedback there regarding higher honours or not quite in there?
I sort of got a bit. As soon as I said I was leaving, I got a bit of chat saying that I was going to be maybe in the mixer for one of the squads, but I was obviously leaving to go to Worcester, so they were like, "You're not sort of in the mix anymore." But before that, I hadn't really got much, so I just thought I may as well just, if I'm not getting any love here, I may as well go try some like new life experience, over there.
Yeah, the experience of having that gap year working on a cattle farm, where was that on?
I was based in Kununurra in the top of WA. Our station was actually like 2 million acres. So our station went from the Northern Territory to over into WA. So it was pretty, it was a fun year, just like working with your mates and hard work, really hard work, which I think sort of led me, because I didn't think I was going to be playing professionally when I obviously played good levels at school and like school board, not Australian school boards like New South Wales schools and stuff, but then I didn't really follow on from that after school. I went and had a gap year and stuff. So working on a cattle station, like some of the days' work were like the hardest things I've ever done.
What are you mainly doing on that?
Just like branding calves. It's like 45 odd degrees on horses all day. Work from like 5 in the morning. Sometimes we'd be out all night bush like firefighting. So then you'd coming in here to do a day's work's tough, but you think back and you go, that was probably the highest of like work, like hard work. And then coming in here is it's different, like completely different. But I think it sort of set me up to know how to work hard.
For sure. When you originally kind of decide that there might be an option to come back here, who reaches out? Is it DC or is it you?
Yeah, so DC reached out, and I had a call, like a Zoom with Paulie and DC. They said that obviously I knew them from East, so it was familiar faces. And then we pretty much got it all done in a few weeks.
Yeah, and obviously that announcement was held off for a long while, but I'd like to reflect in on the kid that has the posters on the wall. Have you been able to kind of pinch yourself, or do you want to pinch yourself once you have a bit of success?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously it's amazing getting to be signed here to the Waratahs, but I think it's a whole different kettle of fish playing consistently every weekend, hopefully winning. That's when it'll really sink in that it's sunk in that I'm here, but I think once we start playing and hopefully have success, which I'm sure we will, that's when it'll be the icing on the cake, I'd say.
Talking a bit about that hard work and that attitude of something like now doesn't compare to the 45-degree days back in your gap year. The other aspects of your journey which are interesting, like you've been to Worcester, which unfortunately kind of folded, and the Force at one time was struggling too. Now, Aussie Rugby kind of keeps finding itself in a situation where they don't quite know what to do with the direction. Like, how difficult was that year back in 2017, 18, and so forth as a player, navigating your way through all that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, I was lucky enough to go to the Force after they got cut. So I was sort of in that new sort of building area for the Force. So I didn't actually experience the hardships that the boys went through. Obviously I heard about it and how terrible it was. And then obviously going to Worcester and I got to actually experience it myself. I think like it's actually, like a lot of people saying Aussie rugby's not in a great place, but it sort of, in like all the players' minds, I think we think it's actually a really good time because it's a time for us to bring it back to what it was. And I think that will come about with success. Like we need to do better than what we did last year and win more games, and then we'll get the crowds coming back to supporting us.
And having been in multiple environments, including up north, how do you see like the Tars in terms of, you've been slogging it out here for quite a few months over like a pretty hot summer. Yeah. Where do you think the Tars are as a program compared to some of the other ones, given that perhaps the success wasn't quite there last year for New South Wales?
From what I've experienced, the training here has been like really tough, but good. Like really tough, but for a reason. Like you need to train hard to hopefully put the results together. I feel as though from coming from other clubs, everyone has their sort of models and everything, but I mean every club's different. But the Tars are like it's hard work, but it's good. Like I'm really enjoying it.
And last one from me. Did you ever feel like you might not come back to Aussie Rugby, and
No, I always knew I'd come back. It was just a matter of when. And I feel like now was the time to come back. Obviously, I really did enjoy my time over abroad, but when DC reached out to say come back and get around us, I was keen to come back and be back in God's country.